Good day. In this presentation, I will discuss how I think cities should tackle the mobility challenges they will encounter in the 21st century. To fast forward to the end, the solution is obvious: correctly pricing transportation modes to set the right incentives for users in cities to optimize the two scarce resources involving mobility: users' time and city space. But why a 100-year-old tool is the obvious solution? Because many times the obvious is overlooked because it is so evident. In addition, if we add that pricing has been wrongly associated to inequality, prompted politicians to ignore this powerful tool due to the fear of losing votes. I will use a personal anecdote to illustrate how wrongly incentives are due to lack of pricing. I live in a suburb of Madrid, less than 8 kilometers from my office. I have different public transportation options, bus and metro, right outside my door, 100 meters of my door. However, the convenience of using my car to go to the office is unbeatable in cost and time. I have an SUV, a big car, diesel, just for myself, which occupies the space of half of a bus, which carry around 40 people. So why I don't take the metro or the bus? The answer is simple: pricing. It is free to hop on the car. No one is charging me for the space I use, or the pollution I generate, or the social inequality of using more public space than 20 people in a bus. In fact, I am being subsidized by the people in the bus. So pricing my trip will be the right thing and the equitable thing to do. So what is the problem? The problem is that urban population is growing at a faster pace than the change needed to adapt the cities to that growth. In addition, public policy in the last 80 years or so has set wrong pricing incentives that have worsened the problem. What we see and feel now is an increase in congestion, pollution, inequality, and a decrease in the quality of life of city residents. Paraphrasing Peter Gabriel's song, Downside Up, the only constant I am sure of is the accelerated rate of population growth. Make no mistake, nothing can stop the population growth. And to make things worse, all of this growth will go to the cities. But not only we do need to prepare our cities for such growth, we also need to prepare them for the uncertainties and unexpected change that will come with the growth that we are yet to discover. With all this consideration, our aim is to develop mobility solutions with four main objectives. 1. Economic viability. 2. Operational efficiency. 3. To provide certainty on the travel times. And 4. To foster growth with environmental sustainability and social equality. So, what is the fundamental problem? Space and time are the most scarce resource in any central urban area. Everyone wants to use the same resource at the same time, so congestion, pollution, social inequality, and decreased quality of life are the consequence of bad pricing policies regarding this scarce resource. Avoiding pricing or its incorrect application has resulted in the misutilization of urban space. We must assume that going forward, this problem will worsen. More people, less space. And the solution will become more and more complex and expensive, and will require consensus at political and social level that is unlikely to be reached. During the first decades of the 20th century, as streets started to collapse due to the growth of population and car ownership, cities developed their underground system: London, New York, Paris, Moscow. At the same time, cities also increased their highway capacity to connect the city with the suburban areas. These solutions, or even more so, the medicines for the future, actually what it did, it put the disease to sleep for decades. But at the same time, they set the wrong price incentive for urban development, incentive that aggravate the problem, creating suburban boost and city sprawling we have seen in the last 30 years. Now, this disease is back and is much worse. 100 years later, the situation is very similar. Madrid has tripled its population. Paris has doubled. Milan has gone from 800,000 to 6.2 million inhabitants, and London from 10 million to 15 million. Mobility is approaching to a halt, and we are at the edge of a cliff. So politicians now face a three-way scenario. Do nothing, what you are seeing in this video. Give more morphine to the terminally ill patient that is adding capacity to deal with the symptoms, so basically pushing the problem forward once again, or tackle the heart of the issue by optimizing the scarce resource, space, and correctly pricing the transportation mode to internalize the externalities and make transportation corridors and different transportation modes really operational for an efficient mobility of people, goods, and services. Existed attempts to resolve these problems, such as HOV lanes, fixed price on-street parking, restricting circulation in certain types of CBDs, or even applying fixed price cordon congestion charging scheme like in London, have proved to be inefficient in the medium and long run, mainly because they do not have dynamic pricing to correct behavior of individuals to optimize space. New mobility trends like business models like car shares, car rides, scooters, bikes, apps do not seem to be adding to the solution because they are not integrated with a price in the model for different transportation modes. Our solution, pricing, but pricing itself cannot be an objective. It's a tool. Remember, it's a tool. The solution is not about generating revenues. The solution is about providing people with the right tool to optimize their scarce resource, time, and to provide cities with the right tool to optimize the scarce resource, space. People mobility should internalize the externalities they generate in their decisions, and cities should optimize space with a pricing strategy that sets the right incentive for people to follow the public policy that society wants to advance. Additionally, pricing cannot become a source of social inequality. On the contrary, it should be used, as I point out in my anecdote, as a means to improve people's quality of life and equality. What we propose is to combine correct pricing for different mobility assets together with other mobility actions or investments to ensure the problem is tackled in an efficient, sustainable, and fair way, and to structure this package of initiative using private-public partnership, which not only minimize the need of public funds and fiscal impact on public account, but also has proven benefits as a procurement model. Our solution will have three components: layers of mobility, digitalization, and social equality. Layers of mobility assets. A. High-speed managed lanes city network. This would be the implementation of a managed lane network building on and adding to the existing high-capacity network. B. City street congestion charges in CBD with variable pricing as the tool that set the right incentive for users to internalize the externalities they cause and to efficiently use city road network. This way, users will pay proportionally to the time and to the distance they travel within the central urban area, depending on the level of congestion and contamination in the system. C. On-street parking could be integrated into the congestion charging system following a similar variable pricing model. Parked vehicles will have lower tariff than moving vehicles as the externalities they cause are less than moving vehicles, but still they are using the scarce resource, urban space. D. City public transport. Investment in improvements for suburban rail, metro, light rail, rapid buses, and city buses. Here, it is important to note that this improvement must be implemented in tandem or before the congestion charging goes into effect, so it increases social acceptance as more options to the private vehicles are provided beforehand. Second component, the digitalization of urban multimodal mobility. Our vision is that all transportation options available within road, charging, metro, light rail, buses, car sharing, bicycles, scooters, you name it, could be integrated within a single digital platform that is super user-friendly, where you can go and you can pay for your trip and you can plan your trip. Third, the implementation of a social, equality, and environmental measures. This component of the package ensure the new charging system does not penalize, but in fact favor vulnerable population through road pricing and public transport discounts. All the scope of work will be implemented via private-public partnership models with true revenue risk transfer to the private sector. Projects could be structured so that most of the investments are paid by the future road charging system revenue without any investment required by the public administration. Some of the initiatives included in our proposal solution have been implemented independent from each other, but they have never been combined in a single project or contract as a system where all the components work together in order to make each of them economically efficient, socially accepted, and sustainable. I have mentioned managed lane as a part of the solution. This type of project demonstrates that dynamic pricing in infrastructure works, and it has high level of social acceptance.
A long-term efficient mobility solution for any congested corridor will require active, real-time management of the traffic flow. But simply adding capacity will not resolve traffic gridlock if drivers still do not have an uncongested alternative. This is why managed lanes have to be considered. Managed lanes are a traffic management solution that provides drivers with a congestion-free alternative by offering them unhindered mobility at any time of the day. The all-electronic and cashless managed lanes are built adjacent to existing freeways. They consist of additional lanes that allow users to consistently drive at a minimum of 45 miles per hour or faster, even in rush hour. The price fluctuates based upon the level of congestion. When congestion starts to build, tolls increase to alleviate congestion and eliminate traffic jams. When traffic decreases, tolls automatically drop back down to encourage more use. This way, unhindered mobility is guaranteed in all circumstances.
For more details about managed lane, express lane concept, we have posted some videos in our virtual booth that I trust you'll find interesting. We believe that the way forward to solve the gridlock and the emission issue and make mobility socially equitable and economically efficient is to apply a similar solution to central urban areas. I will be glad to speak with those of you interested in exploring our solution. Feel free to reach out to me at the following email address. Thank you for your time and stay safe.